country had its shrine.
1957 was the year of ghosts, artists who lit up the charts once, then vanished while their songs lived forever in jukeboxes and movie scenes. Tonight we're digging up 12 one-hit R&B and doo-wop wonders you know in your bones, even if you forgot whoever sang them back then. Kicking off the list at number 12, Tonight, Tonight by the Mellow Kings. This is the slow dance you swear you remember from some old movie, even if you can't name the band. Tonight, Tonight is pure street corner doo-wop, echo on the vocals, a tender lead floating over gentle harmonies, and lyrics that sound like teenagers trying to turn one night into forever. It barely cracked the national charts at the time, but it refused to die. Oldies DJs kept spinning it, collectors kept hunting the 45, and it quietly became one of those if you know, you know records. If you grew up loving 70s slow jams from the Stylistics, Blue Magic, or The Moments,
I love you tonight.
This is the rough draft of that whole mood. Same longing, same romance, just recorded in a world of tube mics and street lights instead of studio strings. Sliding in at number 11, Bad Boy by the Jive Bombers.
I'm just a bad boy.
Bad Boy opens like you've just walked into a smoky bar at midnight. The vocal is half sung, half spoken, like a confession delivered with a shrug. I'm a bad boy, 'cause I don't treat you right. Behind it, the band shuffles along lazy and loose, more late-night blues than teen pop. This was the Jive Bombers' one big hit. It crossed from the R&B chart into the pop top 40. Then the group never caught that kind of fire again. But the song itself kept living, showing up in movies, TV, and deep-cut playlists. For 70s fans who love storytelling soul, think Bobby Womack, early Bill Withers, or those gritty soundtrack moments.
'Cause you'll always find me right.
Bad Boy feels like an ancestor. It's not flashy, not polished, just a mood you can sit inside for 2.5 minutes. At number 10, turning the energy way up, Buzz, Buzz, Buzz by the Hollywood Flames.
Well, buzz, buzz, buzz goes the bumblebee. Tweedledee goes.
If the last two were slow dance and smoke, this one is pure sugar rush. Buzz, Buzz, Buzz is jumpy, high-tempo R&B with doo-wop harmonies stacked on top.
I've seen the beauty of the red, red rose, see the beauty when the sky is blue.
The lead vocal bounces all over the place. The backing voices punch in with that buzz, 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 buzz hook. And the whole thing feels like it was recorded in one take with everyone grinning. The Hollywood Flames had been grinding for years under different labels and even different names. But this was the one time everything clicked.
Sing the beauty of the evening sunset, but the beauty of you, sweet.
It became their big national hit, and then, just as fast, the charts moved on without them. For anyone who loves the party side of 70s R&B and funk, Kool and the Gang, Ohio Players, Early Earth, Wind and Fire,
But there's nothing as sweet as you, darling, and I hope someday you'll be mine.
this track is like a time capsule. Same idea, tight groove, catchy hook, and the band clearly having way too much fun. Coming in at number 9, Happy, Happy Birthday Baby by the Tune Weavers.
Happy, happy birthday, baby.
This one sounds like a letter you were never brave enough to send. Happy, Happy Birthday Baby is slow, spare, and aching, built around Margot Sylvia's lead vocal with the rest of the group rapping gentle harmonies around her. It's not flashy at all, just pure simple heartbreak.
Goodbye, hope I didn't spoil your birthday.
The Toonweavers hit big once with this song and then slipped back into obscurity, but the record itself kept floating through oldies radio and compilation CDs. It's that kind of track you suddenly recognize halfway through the first verse. If you grew up on 70s Quiet Storm ballads, the Manhattans, the Chai Lights, all those late night dedication songs, this feels like where that emotional style began.
Happy, happy birthday, baby.
No big key change, no huge choir, just one person wishing someone a happy birthday and quietly admitting they still aren't over them. At number 8, Over the Mountain, Across the Sea by Johnny and Joe.
Over the mountain, a girl waits.
Over the Mountain, Across the Sea sounds like it's being broadcast from another world. The echo is thick, the tempo is unhurried, and Johnny and Joe trade lines like two people trying to reach each other through a dream. The melody is simple, but it sticks with you in that can't shake it all day way.
Girl, are waiting for me.
This was their one big hit, and it carved out a loyal little corner in R&B history before the charts moved on. The duo kept recording, but nothing else hit like this. For 70s fans, it plays like a rough draft of the great duets, Marvin and Tammy, Roberta Flack and Donny Hathaway. Same idea. Two distinct voices, one shared feeling, and a chorus you can imagine on a worn-out 45 spinning at the end of the night, holding down number 7. Could This Be Magic? By the Dubs. If you had to explain doo-wop to someone using one song, Could This Be Magic would be a strong pick. It's all there. Soft lead vocal, floating falsetto, background harmonies that answer every line, and that big echo like they're singing in a tunnel or a school stairwell. The Dubs never landed another hit this memorable. This one song became their whole legend, passed around on old records, covered by later groups, and kept alive by collectors and late-night DJs. For people who grew up on 70s Sweet Soul, the Delphonics, Blue Magic, The Moments, this record feels like hearing your favorite sound in black and white. Same tenderness, same drama, just stripped down to voices and a rhythm section barely doing more than swaying. It's the moment the slow jam starts to take shape. At number 6, Mr. Lee by the Barbettes, 1957.
1, 2, 3, hey! Look at Mr. Lee's dream.
Mr. Lee is pure teenage mischief pressed onto vinyl. A bunch of schoolgirls from Harlem wrote a song clowning on their teacher, then wrote it all the way up the charts. The groove is bouncy, the claps are sharp, and that "Hey Mr. Lee" hook is impossible to forget once it gets in your head.
Cause I love you so, and I never let you go.
This was the Barbettes' big moment. They released more records, but nothing hit like this one, which quietly became a bridge between street corner R&B and the girl group wave of the early 60s. If you love the attitude and harmonies of 70s female groups, the emotions, the 3 degrees, you can hear the prototype here.
Come on, Mr. Lee.
It's raw, playful, and you can feel the joy of kids realizing, wait, we can write about our lives too. Cracking the top 5 at number 5, Little Bitty Pretty One by Thurston Harris, 1957. This one is all energy. Little Bitty Pretty One is hand claps, stomps, and Thurston Harris pushing his voice right to the edge. It doesn't waste time on long intros or big instrumental breaks. Just jumps straight into that relentless, catchy rhythm and never lets up.
Tell you a story.
The single took off in '57 and basically defined his name. Later covers by acts like the Jackson 5 kept the song alive, but the original has a rough, almost live feel that the polished versions can't quite touch. For 70s fans, it's like hearing the seed of all those high-energy kid soul and party tracks. Same sprint and tempo, same shouted hooks, just recorded in a room where you can practically hear the walls shaking. At number 4, Silhouettes by the Rays, 1957.
The shade, silhouette, 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 silhouette.
Silhouettes is a tiny soap opera in under 3 minutes. A guy walks by his girl's window, sees 2 silhouettes on the shade, assumes the worst, and spirals, only to realize later he had the wrong house.
Took a walk and past your house, laid back.
That mix of drama and comedy is exactly why this song sticks. Musically, it's classic doo-wop, steady beat, smooth harmonies, and a melody that glides. The Rays never had another hit this size, but Silhouettes kept getting covered and revived, which is why the song might feel familiar even if the group name doesn't.
Lost control and rang your bell. I was.
If you came up on 70s R&B that told full stories, the OJs, the Spinners, this is like an early, stripped-back version of that. Clean narrative, no filler, just a great hook wrapped around a very human misunderstanding. Rolling in at number 3, Rockin' Pneumonia and the Boogie Woogie Flu by Huey Piano Smith and the Clowns.
Rockin' pneumonia and a boogie woogie flu. Want some loving, baby.
This is where the party really breaks loose. Huey Piano Smith attacks the keys like they're on fire. The horns punch in on every turn, and the lyrics turn "I'm sick" into code for "this groove has completely taken over my body."
I wanna holler, but the giant's too small.
It's silly, it's loud, and it's ridiculously fun. The track hit big on the R&B charts and became Huey's calling card. He made other great records, but this is the title everybody remembers. Later covers in the 70s pushed it into rock and bar band territory. But the original is pure New Orleans R&B chaos.
I wanna scream, I want you all to know. I would be.
If you love the wild side of 70s funk and party records, stuff that makes dance floors unserious, this is one of the early ancestors. Same spirit, smaller band, hotter room. Runner-up at number 2, who wrote The Book of Love by the Monotones.
The book of love. Tell me, tell me, tell me.
You don't even have to know the title. You hear I Wonder, Wonder Who, and your brain fills in the rest. The Book of Love is one of those hooks that feels like it's always existed.
Do you tell her you never, 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 ever gonna part in chapter?
The Monotones built the whole song around that chant, stacked some tight harmonies on top, and accidentally wrote their entire legacy in one go. It shot up the pop and R&B charts. Then the group never came close to repeating that success. One massive hit, then a long fade into one-hit wonder history.
Chapter 1 says to love her, you love her with all your heart.
For 70s fans, this track shows how early the big chantable crowd-singing hooks were figured out. You can draw a straight line from this to every stadium soul and disco chorus that had you yelling along word for word. Topping the list at number 1, Get a Job by the Silhouettes. Get a Job is working class doo-wop at its finest. That yip 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 intro, the sha-na-na-na backing, and a mama yelling, "Get a job." At her grown kid, it's funny, sharp, and way more relatable than most squeaky clean 50s pop. Released late in 1957, it exploded in early 1958, hitting number 1 on both the pop and R&B charts. Then, silence. The Silhouettes never landed another hit anywhere near that level, which is why this song shows up on every serious one-hit wonder list. For 70s R&B and soul fans, it's the perfect crown.
I better go back to the house and hear the woman smile, preaching and crying.
A groove you can still dance to, lyrics about real life, and a chorus that refuses to die. You've heard it in movies, commercials, maybe even at old family parties. This is the moment it all began. Heard at least one of these and gone, wait, I know that song? Hit like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments which track you recognized first and how you first heard it. Radio, jukebox, movie, or a parent's record stash. To stay in that nostalgia lane, cue up the next video where we jump forward 2 decades and break down the forgotten one-hit wonders from the 70s.